guide students to strengthen party and country-loving sentiments, resolutely obey and follow the party. Hello and welcome to the Spaghetti Junction podcast from a relatively chilly Joburg. This weekend has been freaking freezing.
Chilly Willy. And my name
is Bruce.
Damn it, I was going to go before you. Because that was a very unique start to the podcast.
I know.
I wasn't ready for that.
I know.
Normally I get you.
I know.
I was like, what the hell is he doing? Has he forgotten what his name is? This is where we talk about things. We just don't know where they're going to go. As you know, I listen to random podcasts.
Yes, you
and
do.
I mentioned the last one that I did was listening to was the one about this second date update, which as a synopsis was, I told you and you liked it.
Oh, yes.
So what happens is if you, so for example, for me, if I went out on a date, it was a great date. I thought it was a great date. And the woman, it was going well. And then all of a sudden when the date ended, I still haven't heard anything from her from 2 weeks, nothing.
Yeah.
I've freaking texted her, I phoned her, Zippo. So then I send an email to this radio station saying, guys, I've done all that I can. I need your guys' help.
Yeah.
They then get me on the line. If I find out more, about this woman,
Right.
I give them her number, and then they phone her. I'm still listening in the background, but I can't say anything because it'll screw everything up. And then they phone this woman who doesn't know what the hell's going on, and then all of a sudden now she's explaining on the radio how the date went and what actually happened. Invariably, 90% of the time, when the person says it was a great, great date, I don't know what happened, the stuff that the truth that comes out of it,
Yeah.
oh my soul, it's hilarious. And it's
Okay.
like you were pretty sure from the girl or the guy saying, it was a great day. I don't understand until you hear the other person. And it's like, you did what?
I forgot about that. I need to listen to it.
Oh, it's awesome. In fact, I'll link you up to it.
Cool.
And if you are on Spotify, probably elsewhere, but could go to the second date updates. It's with, I can't remember the names right now. But anyways, look for that. It is. So anyways, I'm listening to that. And when you're listening to something and you don't really track what you're saying or or what you're doing in the sense of your emotions, what you're listening to.
Yeah.
So, I'm listening to it and it's only me in the main office. And on the side office, there's about 4 or 5 other people. So I'm listening. I'm really engrossed. I can get through 3 of them. Normally will last me for an hour.
Right.
Because they're about 18 odd minutes.
Okay.
And then one of the staff members just appeared out of nowhere, and she waves her arms and goes, "Yo!" And I'm like, okay. And then I press pause and say, "Sorry, what's going on?" And she said, "We're having a laugh next door because we don't know what you're listening to, but we keep on hearing, yo." No. Fuck. What? Damn. And that's all they're hearing. Just complete silence. And then I come out with one of those things. I didn't know that I was doing it that loud.
Because you're listening to headphones.
My headphones block out everything.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything else but what I'm listening to.
And when you speak out aloud, you're not realizing how
there
loud you
are
actually
moments
are.
when it's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you didn't say that, did you, buddy? And they obviously heard me and they were laughing. They were like, but after that, I made sure that I just
Keep it down, son.
Keep it down, son. Exactly. So yeah, I catch myself doing that once in a while, and I'm like, okay. But it is fascinating.
Well, that would be considering the stuff that I'm interested in. That would be right up my alley. I'd like to.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. It's just, and invariably, like I said to you, when the one person says it was a normal date, and you actually hear how it really went.
The stuff's not on YouTube, is it?
I'll have a look for you. There was one guy.
I'm sure it'll be on YouTube. It's like everything's on YouTube.
There was one guy who said, it was a great date, but meanwhile, he checks everything. So he basically checks, his routine, what he eats, how far he walks.
Yeah.
And he comes back to the table with one with one of his doogies in like a bag or something, and he goes through it to like check its consistency and its health linked to his doogie at the table. And he thinks he's seen it as a normal thing. So when you don't hear that in how his perfect date went, when you're hearing it from the woman, it's like, yo.
A doogie?
A poop.
Oh, my word.
Sorry, I'm trying to be nice.
Oh.
One of his poops. His defecations.
Okay, all right. I get the picture. Unfortunately, I get the picture.
Unfortunately, you get the picture.
I can smell the picture.
Yeah, there's just some classic people on there. And it's like...
I'm going to have to check that out.
Oh, I'll play you one after this.
Cool.
Awesome. So anyways, the moral of the story is whatever you're listening to, if you have like headphones or earphones like me that block out everything, kind of just like, watch yourself once in a while how you reacting to your stuff and realize there are other people in the office.
Keep your reactions still on the down low.
Yeah, so I've learned to try and keep things... When everyone leaves, though, at like 4 o'clock,
it's free for all.
It's free for all, dude. I just release my emotions double time. It's fantastic. It's a very good release.
It's a catharsis.
Catharsis.
Is your word of the day.
Nice, catharsis. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that is that was my week.
So we are talking about we are back on our human rights series.
Human rights series, that's right.
After taking a little bit of a detour away, and
by the way, guys, thank you for the huge amount of views on that. And
absolutely,
it just makes me feel that you guys, well, maybe this is just me trying to be wishful, but that you guys kind of you think reasonably high of us that we kind of we research pretty well into these things.
Yeah, and the engagement was welcome as well, which is cool. It's nice to see people starting to comment and stuff, and seeing people appear in the comments, and oh, that was close.
Yeah, no, it is. And what's nice is that the comments aren't the same,
Yeah, different people and stuff like that. And it's cool.
Yeah, we had one person. Sorry, I can't remember their name, but they did make a very interesting comment about the actual church and everything. And yeah, so thank you for the comments. Feel free, but yeah, thank you. If I do remember your tag, I'll say thank you properly.
Cool. Sure. Wow, Gareth, I think you're quite thirsty, hey? I've
had like 2 glasses of this beautiful 28.k. I can't read this. I can't read the back of this bottle. Who cares what they put in this beautiful Pepsi?
Not a sponsor.
The red, white, and blue of.
We're not talking about America.
No, well.
Although Pepsi is from America.
It did actually originate in America.
It did.
But yes, the red, white, and blue makes me proud to drink this.
Just like the other
cold, satisfying.
Just like the other dark fizzy drink that we won't mention because
that you can leave meat in and it dissolves meat.
Yep.
That's very bad for your stomach. So don't go that way. Go for Pepsi.
Pepsi, on the other hand,
not a sponsor yet.
So we have an interesting topic today.
Yeah, I found it. It's like, wow. I didn't even know this went.
We are discussing China.
Yeah, in all its glory.
Yeah. Basically, and how they go about indoctrinating, especially children, but the population in general. It's quite chilling. It's
very restricted. Like hectically restricted in China.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Bruce that quite a number of people on podcasts or on social media who have spoken about or spoken against China, and they've been barred from ever going into China. What you said, what, Bruce?
I was like, you know what, they can have it.
Exactly.
It's okay. If I'm ever banned from China, I won't have a problem with that.
No. Agreed.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Just making it clear.
So, believe it or not, I have a quote. This is a pattern
From the beginning. Wow.
I thought this. I really feel it's a little bit of a long quote, but it does set things. Okay,
set
things up.
I'll tighten my seatbelt. Let's go for it.
So Xi Jinping, who is the president, prime minister, supreme leader of China, has basically said, revolutionary traditional education must start from children. We should not only pay attention to indoctrinating them with knowledge, but we should also strengthen the cultivation of sentiment in them so that the red gene seeps through their blood and penetrates their hearts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes it pretty clear. Doesn't mince his words.
Yeah. And we like to cite our sources here on the Spaghetti Junction podcast. That is from bitterwinter.org. Very interesting website about China human rights. Human rights abuses, mainly from China, but also from around the world as well. So.
Bitter Winter, you say?
Bitterwinter.org.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting website. I thought that was
That's a good start.
Yeah, I think that sort of sums it up.
Yeah, we can
This
go
has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next
You
one.
wanted a short... Yeah, shorter podcast. Here we go, guys. Thanks for listening.
See ya,
bye.
Just kidding. So we have the Chinese Communist Party, and China is a one-party state. They are the Chinese Communist Party is the party that rules the entire country. There is no democracy. There is no opposition. These guys run the country with pretty much an iron fist.
An iron fist, for sure.
And that's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have like a lot of bans or very tight ruling on social media, for example.
They just I think the internet is also very restricted.
Yeah, you can go to like a few sites, and for example, I don't think they have Google. They have their own search engines, for example.
Which I'm sure restricts all kinds of different things that you can't search for.
Yep, and you can't look at,
So, yeah. And unfortunately, the way they indoctrinate children from such a young age is one of the very chilling aspects of them. So, like, in China Daily, which is a state-run publication, it stated that political work targeting children has been a priority since Xi Jinping took power in 2012. So they really upped their game when it came to really... Because, I mean, they know how malleable a young mind is.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary how robotic these people actually get.
Yeah.
Making toddlers do flag-raising ceremonies and teaching 3-year-olds to sing the National Anthem. Which I actually looked up. I looked up the National Anthem and the lyrics.
I think I know, but yeah, say it.
And it's very interesting that it's very ironic that the first line of the anthem says, "Arise ye who refuse to be slaves." Just
finger in the air.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but
one small little thing with that. Yeah.
So that I thought was quite interesting. So anyway, so there was also a central committee document that was put out, and that stated, this is also quite scary. Since being founded, this was about a group called the Young Pioneers.
Okay.
So it's a youth movement.
Against the
to indoctrinate.
Oh,
these
indoctrinate.
kids. It's
right.
not an opposition.
It's not an opposition thing. Okay.
No, and this was founded in 1949. So since then, a lot of this indoctrination has been taking place. The young pioneers have united and led generations of children to follow and obey the party. And that statement, the party, I'm about halfway through George Orwell's 1984.
Oh, yeah.
And and within the first page, he's talking about loyalty to the party within 1984, and it's quite scary how this correlates with what he wrote in his book. And it just gets more scarier from there.
That was a book ahead of its time by a long way. It's really told the future. That's what I felt.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you just actually, he talks about these televisions that can watch everything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
If you replace that term with smartphones, you've got 2021, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the indoctrination and all of that, and thought police, and just the fear of thinking something different.
Yeah.
Is enough to make you look around and look over your shoulder.
Yep.
So. And that's the other thing about places like China and also North Korea and that, where individuality is frowned upon. Your critical thinking, just being able to say, hang on a minute, what about that?
Yeah.
What about this? Can I question that? That's just not allowed.
No.
There's an ancient Chinese proverb. I'm sure you've heard it before. I mean, sorry, not Chinese, Japanese.
Okay.
My bad. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down.
Wow, I didn't know that one.
That's originally a Japanese one, because in the Japanese culture, it's also, for a long time, it was very uniform and that kind of thing. I think they're probably a little bit more progressive now. Well, a hell of a lot more progressive. But back then it was that, where it's like, no, you conform to this way of life, and this is what we do, and you can't think out of the box. Not allowed to. That's a no-no. So, yeah. So there was a book that was published by the Education Bureau. I hope I'm going to pronounce this right. Of Jiaozhou City.
It's not bad.
I have to use the G.I. Joe reference because it sounds like G.I. Joe. So that's the way I remember it.
As long as it works.
And they released a middle school book. Like, this is middle school. So what's that? Sort of late primary school, early high school, I think.
Middle school is primary school.
Is that what that's
what I'm aware of.
Okay, cool. Up until 7th grade.
Yeah, there's
8th grade up to
8th. Yeah, so they're about up to 12, 13.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So just going into high school.
Yeah.
The title: Pass on red genes and build up young strength.
Pass on red genes.
Yeah. So the basically.
Oh, not the actual genes itself.
They're passing on the indoctrination of communism, which is always symbolized by red, by the color red.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. Okay.
And part of the preface of the book guides students to strengthen party and country-loving sentiments, resolutely obey and follow the party, so that elevated ideals and beliefs can be deeply rooted in their minds. And
that's a book, you say?
That is a middle school book that is being given to kids in China.
Wow.
Yeah. So even toddlers now are expected to take part in flag raising ceremonies and sing the national anthem.
So toddlers meaning what? Like 4 or 5 year olds?
Starting from about 3 years old.
How do they raise a flag at 3?
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm just...
Parents getting involved. They told their parents need to come with them to these ceremonies and stuff like that. And yeah.
Okay.
And if any of the parents refuse, obviously they get in trouble.
Yeah, you don't say no to the party.
You just don't know. You don't say no to the party.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah. So... and then your just general human rights in China. I mean, that's just the kids. This is some information that I got from the humanrightswatch.org, and it's their China report, where they talk about, because I really wanted to go into like, okay, why does a dictatorship and a one-party state govern so harshly? You know, why? It's like, you know, can't you just be nice?
That's not how they work.
Unfortunately not. No.
That's not part of the language.
And this was quite interesting. Now, obviously, they're talking about China, but this could be a lot of different types of dictatorships and one-party states around the world. Their motivation would stem from to rule by repression rather than popular consent. So, you know, it's not about a leader being voted into power. It's like, this is your leader. You will bow down, and you will. This is not a debate.
No,
basically, and it actually the Chinese Communist Party is actually scared of its own people, because they know that if its people actually understood what was going on, there would be an uprising, and it could endanger their hold on power. Now, it's very interesting because in China's huge on education. I mean, they push education. They push these kids.
Oh yeah.
They put it's insane, because from education comes a way out of poverty. And I mean, these kids are so driven to get the best marks of these exams and stuff like that. And that's just another rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
And so it's not like say a dictatorship in Africa where a government is keeping the masses uneducated so that they don't start questioning and start to use critical thinking, which is another way of just controlling your masses, is keep them uneducated, keep them dumb, and just, you know, push the propaganda. So that's quite interesting. So this uses indoctrination from a very young age.
Yep.
So yes, get an education, be better, make yourself better for the party, for your country, for your state, for your leader.
Correct.
And yeah. So, which is,
yep.
I don't know. It's. I get a little lost for words sometimes.
You've done well so far. That's why I'm just listening.
So
it's good.
And a one party state would also be worried about the consequences of unfettered popular debate. So basically, they're worried about people just talking and literally asking questions. Like, what about this? What if I don't agree with this? I was like, no, you can't do that. And political organization, and thus, you know, just it's afraid to subject itself to popular scrutiny. Again, these are the words of the World Report on China, which puts the stuff into words a lot better than what I can. But yeah, popular scrutiny. Though that is part of an actual democracy, where it's like, we talk, we debate, and we find the best way forward, and we vote on things. Okay, and the majority wins, and that's democracy. If you don't like it, suck it up and deal with it,
or leave.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, there are a lot of people like in this country who don't want to vote when elections come up. It's like, because they go, oh, does my vote mean anything? Well, it's like, well, if you don't vote, you can't really say anything. Like, you don't have a say. Like, at least we have a say.
Correct.
We can vote, and then we can complain because we did vote.
Yeah.
But if you don't vote, you can't complain.
No, it's pointless.
So. And then the other thing, which is very interesting, is the religious and ethnic minorities that are also in China. We know a lot about how Christians are persecuted, how the Bible is illegal. The underground church in China apparently is flourishing.
There's a big one there, yeah.
It is huge, and it's only getting stronger, which is amazing.
Yep.
It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, if those guys if they get caught. I don't know what the actual. I think
but I think there is imprisonment.
The penalties are
that.
very harsh. Yes.
Yeah, you don't get caught.
And what's very interesting is which I didn't realize before this is how many Muslim people are actually in China.
I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
Yeah, and about 13 million in total.
In China itself,
Muslims in several different types of groups.
Yep.
And they are policed. They are very closely monitored, even to the point of Chinese personnel staying uninvited in their houses and monitoring if they are praying, engaging in any of their religious activities.
So you have to let somebody into your house.
If one of those Chinese officials rocks up, you have to let him in, and he stays with you. He stays with your family, and he literally watches your family.
Wow.
I don't know for how long. It doesn't really go into that.
Okay.
I thought that was. I'm like, yeah, okay. You got this guy just sitting here in your house, and his job is to make sure that you are not practicing your religion that you believe in. And I'm sorry, love or hate or disagree with any religion, you should be free to practice that religion wherever you live.
But as we know, China is a whole other story.
Yeah.
This is the party.
Yeah, because it's all to do with the party. Because you cannot. It's like even practicing your own religion takes away from your service to the party. It's like you should worship the party. The party is your God. Yeah.
God, exactly.
That's it.
That's what they like.
So, yeah. So, and then a lot of they've been being warned under different penalties to renounce their faith. So
that's why it's underground.
That's it. Yeah. There's been a big move just to strip Muslims of their faith, their ethnicity, and independent political views. And that's China for you.
Yep.
So I don't know if you'd like to add anything to that.
You know what? As I told Bruce, a lot of my info and stuff I used on my work PC, and I didn't move it across to any memory stick or email. So that's why I've been more quiet than normal. But no, I think it's great, dude. I think you brought everything. And if one of us has to be banned from China, it's going to be you. Because I haven't said anything.
Yeah, I'm the one who used all his words. Yeah. So we'll see.
No, I thought it was great, Bruce. I really didn't feel that I needed to really, input much, because I think what you said makes it was well researched, and just shows the background and the power of indoctrination. Yeah, if you really want to learn what indoctrination means, then
absolutely
stop at China.
I've got to be honest. Since researching this, I'm getting a little bit even more interested in this side of things. I know we've done the human rights things. Mm-hmm. But for me, this indoctrination by the political parties and how they control, how governments and one party governments control their people. That to me is
that interests you more than me.
Yeah, you're on the human rights side.
I'm like on the face value, like
the human element, basically.
I'm with the human element.
Yes,
and you're more trying to understand exactly what the mentality is. I'm guessing.
Yeah, the mentality behind a dictatorship and just holding onto that power so tightly because you're actually afraid that your people might take it away from you. That mentality to me is just mind-blowing.
And also what gets me is that the majority, I would say the Chinese people who get so indoctrinated that they just go with it. That's also very powerful, how they've actually made them become a puppet, basically.
Exactly. And it's very scary because, these are human beings that are, we're supposed to have our own thoughts. We're supposed to have our own passions and, pathways in life. And because you live in a certain country, that pathway, that's been set out from you from 3 years old. It's like, no, you will do this, and this is going to be your life, and there is no way you can change that.
Yeah.
Unless you get out of the country illegally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there we go.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that the governments will do that. But we've seen it all through history. This is not new.
No, definitely not.
This is definitely not new. It's just the next one, basically.
Yeah.
So so that, I think North Korea is also another one. We could probably do another podcast just on North Korea.
That's a whole nother. If you think China's strict, then there's a whole nother. And that was why there were issues. I mean, if you remember all the marches happening in Hong Kong.
Yes.
It was last year sometime.
Yeah.
You know, against the hold of China onto because if I'm correct, they wanted Hong Kong to be part of. Do you remember?
Are you talking about? I think you're talking about Taiwan.
No, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Okay.
Yeah, there were a bunch of like a few weeks of just marches,
yes.
And it was against.
I remember.
Do you remember
I remember the marches happening. I don't remember the reasons why.
It was linked with China.
Okay.
It was a big thing against China. Let me just search quickly.
Because I also know that that China's been doing a lot of flexing their muscles with regards to wanting to take back Taiwan. Australia's getting very concerned.
Because?
Just China just flexing muscles in ways that are worrying. I'm not sure of the details, but yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons. The protest was against the proposed legislation of the 2019 Hong Kong extradition bill. Other things that came up was the demand for democratic reform, and the fair, and then it is called the Causeway Bay Books disappearance, otherwise known as the fear of losing a high degree of autonomy. And China was very much involved in Hong Kong. I just really want to understand why.
Well, there you go. There was that. Yeah, it's that fear of losing autonomy.
There we go. That's pretty much. And I know that China had a hand in it. I'm sorry, I can't. I wish I could tell you better.
And let me guess, they put those protests down.
It took them a while,
but they put them down.
Yeah, they banned it, and then they brought in the military, and water cannons and so forth. And the organizers said, and estimated 800,000 took part, while the police said it was only 183,000. Sure. Anyways, that's another thing, completely different. Exactly what we said. They started in June over a controversial extradition bill.
Right.
And then they evolved into anti-government demonstrations. Yeah.
Okay. So there are those groups in China that are anti.
Yeah, but now this wasn't Hong Kong.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it'd be way worse in China.
Yeah.
This was in Hong Kong.
Okay.
Anyways, that's just a side thing. Thanks, dude.
Cool.
Well researched.
Lekker. I think we can leave it there.
We can.
That's it.
Well researched soon.
Thank you. Guys, this has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast. This has been a good one. Interesting.
Very eye-opening, to be honest. And
yeah.
Another reason why I don't want to be in China. Although, if you want to, date a Chinese woman, well, it's going to be damn difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Unless you find the ones that have managed to get out, then they're no boss.
Yeah.
It's like they freaking. Anyways, I'm done.
This has been the Spaghetti Junction podcast.
For the second time.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, engage with us in the comments, chat to us.
Put on notification bells.
Absolutely. And follow us on Instagram as well. We've got our Instagram going.
What is Instagram? What is the Instagram?
The Spaghetti Junction podcast.
Huh.
On Instagram.
Clever.
Yeah. We're on 39 followers, so get those followers up on Instagram.
We're on 22 actually now. We got one more. Somebody just popped in.
22 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Cool. 39 followers on Instagram.
Nice.
So
I think it's pretty good. And I'm going to be trying to watch tomorrow, or later tonight in America, but tomorrow here in South Africa, Jake Paul's taking on Tyron Woodley.
Ooh.
And as you all know, I am a Logan Paul, Jake Paul fan, which I love it. Whatever you guys care. It's his next fight. And if he wins that, then he's pretty much on the way to the big times.
And I'm sure I'll get the update from Gareth.
Yes, you will. You will. I'm loving it. All right, peeps.
Till next time, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.